Hey y'all, I'm Alex. Today I'm going to go over a few different ways how you can hold up your hands in Taekwondo sparring. Now let's get started. The first way is very basic, very simple, and ideal for beginners. So all you're going to do, you're going to have both hands closed in a tight fist. Your back hand is going to be up pretty close to your face, right around underneath your chin. Your front hand is going to be up right below your shoulder line. So you're going to be in a position similar to this. This is really good because one, you have your fist closed so you don't run risk of getting your fingers kicked and possibly broken. So you're here, and then also it does cover your body pretty well for the most part, and your back hand is up and your front hand is up as well to kind of help be ready for those head kicks that may come. So I definitely recommend this for beginners if you are new into sparring. Before you kind of start to experiment with some other stuff, just try this more neutral, basic stance. It's going to be pretty safe for the most part. And then once you get a little bit more experience, you can try out some other ways to hold your hands. But this is very good for starting off. Tight fist, one hand is going to be up close to your head, the other hand is going to be up right below your shoulder. Both hands are ready to go whether you have something coming at your head or if you have something coming at your body. Now the second one, you're going to have your hands a little bit more looser. So you're not going to be tight fist, but you're not going to be completely open either. It's kind of like a loose, basically like a loose fist. So from here, you're going to have your back hand, same thing, you're going to have it kind of around your chin level, but your front hand, you're going to keep it a little bit more lower, kind of at your hip or at your belt level. So it's going to be more like this. Okay? Now, there are some pros and cons to this. The pros are you are in a little bit more of a looser stance. You don't have really tight clenched fists, so it can help you relax your body a little bit more, maybe a little bit more comfortable, which in turn can help you perform a little bit better. So if that's the case, that's definitely a pro for you. If this is a little bit more comfortable and you're able to fight a little bit better, move around really well, then this can work for you. Now, the cons are obviously having this front hand down leaves your body exposed, especially to like cut kicks, those front leg kicks, but also it leaves your head exposed right here too, so someone can come over top. So you still have to watch that. You have to make sure that if you are going to do this stance, you are ready for kicks coming at your body, definitely for kicks coming over top, over your shoulder. So either have this backhand ready, be able to lean back out of the way, or even better, completely move out of the way. So that backhand is going to be up kind of underneath your chin. The front hand is going to be a little bit more lower, kind of at your hip or at your belt level. Loose fist, not too tight, not too tense. Nice loose here. I recommend that you try it out if you want to. Just make sure that you be careful of those body kicks and those head kicks that may come. Next, let's talk about having both your hands pretty much down. I really don't recommend that you try this unless you are a little bit more experienced, because there are times that I have fought with my hands pretty low or pretty much down. And the reason being that sometimes when I'm focusing a little bit more on footwork, moving around, I do tend to keep my hands down, but I try to be a really hard to hit moving target. The only time I have my hands really low, really down is when I'm bouncing a lot. I'm kind of in, out, all over the place, just trying to like kind of throw the footwork off of my opponent. So that's basically the only scenario when I would keep both my hands really low or down, is if I am moving around, bouncing around the ring, really just trying to stay light on my feet, explosive around the ring. So that's really the only time that I would personally have both my hands down like that. There are probably some other cases where other people or higher level fighters would keep their hands down, but for the most part, I don't recommend that you try this unless you are in practice and someone's not going to knock you out. Because obviously, the big con to this is you are completely exposed for body shots and you are completely exposed for a knockout to the head. Now this next way is mainly for just when you're jabbing that front leg. It's a really good way to keep your body covered from getting scored on. So from here, you're going to stay nice and sideways, nice and bladed, and that front hand, whichever hand's in front, you're going to have it down across your body. Your back hand is going to be up covering this way. So from here, you're pretty much covered except for your closed side and obviously to your head. So when you're here, lean back a little bit, and then you're just going to jab that front leg out, okay? So the really good thing about doing this is having the front hand across here instead of having it like up here, is when you pick that knee up, your hand's not really in the way. It's a little bit easier when it's here. Boom, you're already there for that chamber to get out that cut kick, fast kick, whatever kind of front leg kick that you're doing. So from here, front hand goes down, back hand's up here, still kind of up here. You kind of have your shoulder up too as well, just kind of, you can lean back if a head kick comes, try to lean back out of the way of it. But you're here, lean back, boom, kind of jabbing out that front leg whatever you feel most comfortable with. I personally do this every now and then when I'm jabbing my front leg, try to work on keeping my body a little bit better covered. I don't do this all the time and not the whole time in the match. You wouldn't really fight like this the whole time. Some people do, but you don't have to do that. I definitely do recommend that you do it when you're just going in, just kind of jabbing that front leg out, whether you're here, jabbing that cut, or going in with like a fast kick or something. Just have that front hand down across your body, and then that back hand's gonna be up here, basically covering the most part of the open side of the hook. And last, I'll share with you what I currently do with my hands when I spar. For the most part, I basically keep one hand completely open, which like I've said before, I don't 100% recommend you do this because you do run the risk of getting your fingers kicked and possibly broken. That's the risk I'm willing to take because this stance is really comfortable for me. So I have my front hand basically straight out in front of me. I keep it here. My back hand also stays pretty low, which I don't always recommend for most people. But like I said, eventually, once you get a little bit more experience, you need to do what works for you and what makes you most comfortable in the ring so you can perform well. This is what works for me right now. I have my front hand out here. My back hand pretty much stays pretty low, or sometimes I'll keep it up here, but both my hands do stay open. So I'm here. This is pretty relaxed for me, but the main reason I like keeping my front hand out is for a couple things. One, it kind of helps me gauge my distance a little bit, especially with those front leg fighters. Kind of helps me keep my distance. I may lean my upper body back a little bit, kind of keep my front hand out. Also, if someone comes at me with that front leg and kind of flicks some at me, every now and then I will, which I don't always recommend you do this because you can risk injuring your hand, is I kind of will push it down out of the way and then try to go over top with a kick or a punch. So that's another thing why I like keeping my hand out. I can kind of use it to kind of push that front leg down if it's one of those little flicking kicks. So that's just a couple reasons why I like keeping my front hand out, and it just kind of makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. Makes me feel like I have space in between me and my opponent, and like I said before, you can kind of judge your distance using that front hand as well. The backhand, it doesn't really do a whole lot. It kind of stays up here. And then obviously if I'm going to go in for shots, if I'm going to attack, I try to bring my hands up a little bit higher. That way I can block any headshots, or even better, just try to move out of the way as well. So that's personally what I do. Like I said before, try some of these different positions to hold your hands when you're sparring, when you're practicing, not at a tournament, when you're practicing with people that aren't going to actually hurt you. That way you can figure out what's more comfortable for you, but really in the long term, it's going to just kind of come natural to you. Eventually, you're just going to kind of get hand positions that you like the best and what you feel most comfortable with when you're sparring. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to let me know what you want to see next in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like us on Facebook, and follow me on Instagram. I'll see you guys later.